Well, hello and welcome. I want to be the first to say to you, congratulations. I want to congratulate you for being not only in the right place at the right time, but with some information that I know if you follow this all the way to the end will change your life financially. And so guys, what I want to ask you to do is give me your undivided attention over the course of the next 15 to 25 minutes. And here's what I promise you. I promise you, when you leave this information, when you leave this presentation and you are offered an invitation to continue to get educated on what I'm going to share with you, your life is going to go through a financial transformation, leading you to the road of what I call financial independence. Are you ready? Well, let's go. And so guys, what we're going to do today is I'm going to expose you to some information that has been forbidden to be taught inside of the traditional educational system. I'm going to take you back in history to two vital moments that changed the entire financial system in the United States of America, 1971 and 1964. I want to ask you a question before I proceed. If you knew that what you are actually saving in today would cause you to have financial devastation in the future, would you want to know about it? Let me ask that in a more simplistic manner. If you knew 100% that the money you were saving today would be worth less in the future, but you could do something about it, would you want to know about it? Well, guys, I'm going to expose you to the hidden secret of money. Let's go. Okay, guys, so the first thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about what happened in 1971. In 1971, President Nixon put an end to our US dollar being connected to gold. Now, for United States of American citizens, we were actually taken off of what was called the gold standard in 1933 by President Roosevelt, but that's a whole different presentation. President Nixon in 1971, you guys can go and find this video on YouTube, told the world that he was temporarily suspending the convertibility of the US dollar into gold. I want to read what I found here on Google, and then we're going to see if this actually was true or if it worked. It said, when and why did Nixon end the gold standard? President Richard Nixon closed the gold window in 1971 in order to address the country's inflation problem and to discourage foreign governments from redeeming more and more dollars for gold. I want to spend a little time on this because unfortunately inside of our traditional educational system, AKA the school system, they don't really teach history in a manner that will help you in the future as you go to building your life. Let's read this one more time. Why did Nixon take the dollar off the gold standard? It says, President Richard Nixon closed the gold window in 1971 in order to address the country inflation problem. I want to pause right there and ask you a question. Today is October the 22nd, 2022. We are in one of the highest inflations that current Americans have seen in their lifetime. What happened? What happened to this disconnect the dollar from the gold standard in order to address the country's inflation problems? Number two, and to discourage foreign governments from redeeming more and more dollars for gold. Okay, I want to pause for a moment. Okay. The United States dollar received the world reserve currency status because our dollar was backed by gold. Our dollar wasn't as good as gold. Our dollar actually was gold. In fact, let me jump back on the screen really quick. So guys, I'm holding on to what's called a $20 gold certificate. And I'm going to read to you what it says on this $20 gold certificate. You guys can see that right there on the screen. Now, if I come a little closer, you might not be able to see it, but let me read to you what it says. This says on this bill, this certified that there has been deposited in the United Treasury of the United States of America $20 in gold coin payable to the bearer of this note on demand. That simply meant that I could take this $20 gold certificate to the United States Treasury or to a bank, and they would redeem it for $20 in physical gold. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. I may just have a gold coin in my pocket. Well, there we go. Okay, so that meant that you could take this paper money, this gold certificate. I want you to reach in your pocket and I want you to look at a $20 bill. I want you to read what it says you have in your hand versus what I just read. So you could take this gold certificate. It's certified that you had claim to physical gold in the vault. You can simply exchange it for your real money, okay? Now, I also have a silver certificate, and you guys can find these online as well. And I'll see if you guys can see that. Okay, this is a $1 silver certificate. You might see, looks a little bit different than yours, and here's what it says. It says silver certificate note across the top. This certifies that there has been deposited in the United States Treasury of the United States of America $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. So again, here I have a 1 ounce silver coin. This dollar was equal to 1 ounce of silver, okay? Our dollar wasn't as good as silver. Our dollar was silver. This $1 was a certificate that certified that you had claim to physical silver, and anytime you wanted it, you could just simply take it to the United States Treasury or a bank and swap it back for your real money. And so what I want to do is I want to go back to 1971, and I want to see if you had taken paper dollars and saved them under your mattress versus saving the equivalent in physical gold. So we're not talking about investment. We're talking about simply saving. I want to make that very clear, okay? So let's assume that you took 1,000 paper dollars, Federal Reserve notes, and you just simply put it under your mattress. And I took $1,000 and converted it into physical gold, and then I put that gold under my mattress. And now in 2022, I want to know which one held its purchasing power. Well, let's take a look. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to find out what was the cost of a medium-sized home in the United States in 1971. So let's go ahead and ask Google. What was the cost of a medium-sized home in the United States in 1971? Okay, so we can see in 1971, the medium home price was $25,200. Wow, guys, can you imagine being able to buy a house today for $25,200? Or the house sold for $28,300. So we're going to use the $28,300 price tag. Now what we want to know is we want to know how much was an ounce of gold in 1971. So I'm going to jump over to a site called kitco.com. You guys can see today here on the top of the screen that 1 ounce of gold, and this is spot price. This is not a price that the average person can purchase this for, okay? Let me blow the screen up a little bit. Again, this is called the spot price. 1 ounce of gold is $1,657.90. So I'm going to scroll down to 1971, and I want to find out what did 1 ounce of gold cost in 1971. And we can see right here, in 1971, 1 ounce of gold was $40.80. So what we're going to do, we're going to compare apples to apples. We're going to take the $28,300, which was the equivalent of a brand new home in the United States in 1971, and we're going to simply divide that by 1 ounce of gold, or the price of 1 ounce of gold. So let me bring up my calculator. Okay, so again, a brand new home sold for $28,300 in 1971. We're going to divide that by the price of 1 ounce of gold, which was $40.80 per ounce, which meant that house was the equivalent of 693.62 ounces of gold. Let's go ahead and round that up to 694 ounces of gold was the equivalent of a brand new home at $28,300 in 1971. And so what I'm going to do right now, before I jump over to Google to find out what is the current average price of a medium-sized home in 2022 in the United States of America, I'm going to go ahead, guys, and do the conversion here. And so again, today, on October 22nd, 2022, 1 ounce of gold is $1,657.90. We're going to go ahead and round that up to $1,658. So I'm going to say times $1,658. So this is the equivalent of $28,300 in 1971 converted into gold. And that means today you would have $1,150,034. Okay, so now let's jump back over to Google. Okay, so now what I want to know is what is the cost of a medium-sized home in the United States of America today in 2022? So let's go ahead and ask Google. What is the average cost of a medium home in the United States of America in 2022?
$428,700.
Wow. So let me go ahead and bring back up our calculator. So ladies and gentlemen, here's what we know. We know that if you had learned to save in physical gold in 1971 to the tune of what a medium-sized home cost, which was $28,300, and you simply put that gold under your mattress, buried it in the backyard, never earned any interest, no income taxes at all, today you would have $1,150,000. Let me ask you a question. Could you buy a brand new home, even with the inflated price of $428,700? Let me ask that another way. How would you like to buy a $428,700 house for $28,300? I hope you guys got what I just put down, because I just blew the roof off of the hidden secret to real money. And so what I want to do is I want to take that $428,700. So we're going to divide this by $428,700 equals, that means that you can buy with the same amount of money that you could have purchased a house in 1971 for $28,300. Today, that $28,300, if saved in real money gold, could buy you 2.5 houses. And you paid 0 taxes on the increase of your wealth. Do you guys see why you need to learn, why you need to save in physical gold? Okay, so now to be really transparent, I want to bring up what's called an inflation calculator, okay? And this inflation calculator, what we're going to do is we're going to take that 28,300 paper dollars and we're going to go to 1971. And so what this is going to tell us is, if you had saved $28,300 in paper money under your mattress, calculating current inflation, this would be your result. And here's what it says, ladies and gentlemen. See, people lie, but numbers don't. If you had saved that $28,300 in paper in 1971 under your mattress, today you would need $207,399 to buy the same goods and services that it purchased you in 1971. They'll never teach you this in school, okay? So let me go ahead and I'm going to read what it actually says here. In fact, let me see if I can expand this so you guys can read along with me. Okay, so here's what it says. $28,300 in 1971 is the equivalent in purchasing power of about $207,399 today. That is an increase of $179,099 over 51 years. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 3.98% per year between 1971 and today, which is October 22nd, 2022, producing a cumulative price increase of 632%. Let me ask you a question. Has your financial advisor set you up for a 632% decrease in the purchasing power of your money? It goes on to say, and I want to highlight this. This means that today's prices are 7.33 times higher than the average price in 1971. According to who? The Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index. A dollar today only buys 13.645% of what it could buy you back then. Wow. Okay, so some of you are saying, yeah, well, that's just a fluke. So let's do one more comparison. I'm back on Google, and let's see what the cost of a brand new Mustang was in 1971. What was the cost of a brand new Mustang in 1971?
According to Hagerty Broker Business Center, prices began at $2,911 for the hardtop, $2,973 for the fastback, $3,227 for the convertible, $3,117 for the Grande, and $3,268 for the Mustang Mach 1.
Okay, so let's take the top model, okay? Let me bring back up my calculator. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that $3,268 and we're going to convert that into gold. Remember, guys, we're doing apples to apples, okay? This isn't green apple to red apple. This is red apples to red apples. So we already know that 1 ounce of gold was $40.80. I'm going to divide that by $40.80 just to convert that into gold. And that means that 80 ounces of gold was the equivalent of $3,268, the price for a brand new Mustang, okay? And so now what we have to do is we got to take the 80 ounces of gold and we have to times that times the current value of 1 ounce of gold today, which was $1,658, which means we have $132,802 today in 2022. Again, guys, without earning any interest, without putting your money in an account that you got to be penalized if you need to touch it, just simply saving your money in real money. And so now what we want to do is we want to find out what is the price of a brand new Mustang in 2022. What is the price of a brand new Mustang in 2022?
According to Kelley Blue Book, price, the 2022 Ford Mustang starts at $27,205.
Okay, so now we know in 2022, that Mustang now costs $27,205. Let me bring back up my calculator. And we know that the equivalent of that brand new Mustang in 1971, we currently now, because we saved our money in gold, have $132,800. I want you guys to remember, this is based on spot price, not the price that you pay for gold. This is a price that many Americans cannot purchase gold for, okay? If you went out today to buy an ounce of gold, you would pay somewhere around $1,800. So I'm really using a low number, but we're gonna take the $132,800, divide that by the cost of a brand new Mustang in 2022. So $27,205 equals, that means that we can purchase almost 5 brand new Mustangs off the showroom floor for the price of 1 Mustang in 1971. I don't think you guys heard what I just said. I got to jump back on the screen. If you're still standing, if you're still sitting in your chair, did you hear or did you see? Because I believe that documentation beats conversation. And there's a reason why they don't teach this information to the masses. Did you just see that for the same exact dollar amount, that you could have purchased a brand new Mustang in 1971 if you had simply learned to save that money, not invest it, to save that money. I want to say it again, not invest it, not in a 401k, not in the stock market, just simply save that money in physical gold, held it in your possession. Today, you could buy almost 5. In fact, I guarantee you, if you walked in with that type of cash, they would sell you 5 brand new Mustangs. And your true cost was the equivalent of about $3,600 for one Mustang in 1971. Guys, I have done this analogy going over 80 years, 100 years. I went all the way back to the 1800s, and I did 30-year increments comparison of gold and silver compared to inflated prices that we're experiencing today. And you know what I found out? I found out that Nixon lied. I found out that the government lied to us. I found out that we have been manipulated through a money system that is designed to lose purchasing power. In fact, the Federal Reserve themselves say that they have a targeted 2% inflation every year. We've been manipulated to not being told the truth about sustaining purchasing power of the very thing we trade our most valuable asset for, and that's money. Silver and gold is God's money. If you guys want to learn more information, because let me tell you, it gets deeper. As I take you further down the rabbit hole, you start to get exposed of the financial enslavement that has been placed on the American people. I know I just used a hard word, but I'm telling you what I know. And I want to show you a solution. And so if you would like to learn how to be able to position yourself to get physical silver and gold for the best price, and if you really want to move yourself light years ahead of where you currently are right now, if you would share this simple information, I want to show you how to be able to get silver and gold for right at spot price or even below, while generating income for doing so. That sounds like something that interests you. Then you definitely want to get back with the person that shared it with you. And if that was me through this particular video, I want you to go to this link below. You're going to be added to a private list where I'm going to invite you into a private group, and I'm going to share with you some information that your financial advisor is never going to tell you. You know why? Your financial advisor won't tell you about silver and gold because they don't make a commission. I'm going to show you what the government won't teach in school. I'm going to show you why the school system doesn't teach this information. And I'm going to show you how to protect yourself legally, ethically, and morally. And I'm going to show you how to reduce your taxable income all at the same time down to its legal minimum. And believe it or not, you could be like Jeff Bezos. It could be zero. And with that being said, I want to thank you for your time and attention, guys. Get back with the person that shared it with you. If you made it this far, man, your life is never going to be the same if you make a decision to continue to get the information that I'm going to provide you. With that being said, Mark Pyers, home-based business tax coach and wealth coach, CEO and founder of the Academy of Financial Education, alongside of my beautiful wife and business partner, saying to you, my friend, the more you know, the less you legally, ethically owe in taxes. Taxes, debt, and inflation are the three-legged stool to keep you on the plantation chasing money because you've been sold the matrix. We'll see you guys on the right side of money.